couldn't leave the warmness of his home. Good morning, Michael Highsmith, policy researcher at the Show Me Institute. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, McGraw. Sorry I can't be there in person.
Yes, I heard you were caught in traffic?
Yeah, 141's a little backed up for me, so I had to pull over and call in.
Where are you on 141? Why don't you give us a little traffic report while you're out there?
Right at 141 and 64. It's pretty backed up over there.
All right. Well, they're all waiting in anticipation to hear your report. That's got to be what it is. All right, Michael Highsmith from the Show Me Institute. What's going on with Northwest Plaza? I thought this was already a done deal.
Yeah, so this was a done deal, and it looks like we're adding a little more to it. So what we're looking at right now is the Crossings at Northwest Plaza is asking for more tax incentives, even though more than half of the project is already funded by taxpayer dollars. So it's a $106 million development that's taking place over there. They're redeveloping the old mall, and the developers are asking for another $6 million in new market tax credits.
What is the Crossings at Northwest Plaza going to be for $106 million?
So the plan right now is to expand it into your typical redevelopment with office space, retail development, and this new $6 million the reason that they're asking for it is so that they can expand the retail inside the area. And study after study has shown that retail is the last thing that you want to be dedicating taxpayer dollars to.
Why is that? Why the disconnect between retail and tax dollars?
Well, it just shows there's been a lot of studies that have shown as far as which developments taxpayers are going towards, taxpayer dollars are going towards. Those kind of developments would have happened anyways. There's not much of an impact on the market demand. So if you throw a couple $1 million towards a development like this, it probably will have taken place anyways. And I mean, we look at St. Anne's right now, it's already under development. We look at the Crossings, it's taking place already, and yet there's another $6 million that's potentially coming its way.
$106 million redevelopment of the Northwest Plaza, $33 million in TIF, $7.5 million in brownfield cleanup tax, $24 million in new market tax credits, and now they want to add another $6 million on top of that.
Right. So what we're looking at is $64 million already, and we're trying to bump it up to $70 million. So I don't know. I guess you could go all the way. You might as well make it entirely a taxpayer investment, because the reason that these developers are asking for these tax incentives is that the lease rates that people are used to in this area are too low for them to turn a profit. And when you're working with a profit margin that low, chances are it's not a good investment. So it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of a place for taxpayer dollars to go towards that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is an interesting game you play, right? If the building I'm building, I can't get the market rate for those buildings, I need to incentivize it. Well, why aren't you getting those market rates? So now you're incentivizing something. So all you're doing, are you taking away the business in that area anyway? And so if you have grade A office space at the same price as grade C office space, how does that work, right?
Right, exactly. And just like you said it, if there's tax incentives that are going to subsidizing one project, chances are it's just taking away development from other areas. If you get a couple new jobs, in quotation marks, that are created there, a lot of times they're just jobs that are moving from one business across the street over to this one because it's turning a larger profit thanks to taxpayer dollars.
Isn't St. Anne the one where they moved the Walmart 2 miles down the road?
Yes, it is. So we've got quite the history there. And, I mean, this project has $33 million in tax increment financing, so it seems to be a trend in St. Louis.
Yeah, but you know what's the other interesting thing is, well, I won't go there, but, they don't want to take jobs away from New York or Illinois or Texas or any neighboring states. They only want to take jobs away from neighboring towns, which I've never quite understood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's trying to single out. I don't think developments like this are trying to single out jobs from one municipality to another. But the system that we currently have in place in St. Louis allows for that to happen. When we have when you have tax increment financing where every municipality can approve it, there's very little incentive to not improve or to not offer it, to put it on the table for a developer, because chances are the businesses are worried that they'll just move 2 miles down the street. You'll get a Walmart that literally relocates right next door unless you offer up taxpayer dollars, and that's a legislative process that we need to address.
I was reading recently about the boom in television production and how there are hundreds of television shows in production all around the country. And a lot of it's in Georgia, some of it's in Louisiana, it's in New York, because they're getting massive tax credits. And yet Missouri won't give any tax credits for any TV shows, right, which would be new money in town. But we do like to give tax credits for new buildings, which doesn't really seem like a smart economic play for me.
Yeah, absolutely not. And you think about it, there's so many other things that these tax dollars could be going towards. Tax increment financing it tends to take away property tax increments from schools, from libraries, from other important municipal services that everyone can benefit from. And they tend to just give an upper hand to one developer, and as a result, other businesses in the same area suffer.
Right, and whereas we had tax credits for movies and TV shows and stuff, and that went away because that wasn't a good use of money. Whereas it seems like we'd be just taking jobs away from other states, which actually, if you're going to do that, if you're going to incentivize it, at least make it worth the state's while anyway. Michael Highsmith, right. We'll let you get back on the road and get to work. Where can we read more about this?
You can go to showmeinstitute.org to read more about this and other issues, or you can follow us on Twitter at ShowMe.
Michael Highsmith, have a good day. Drive safe. Thanks for checking in.
All right. Thanks, McGraw.
You got it. Next hour, Greg Willard's going to talk a little Electoral College. And speaking of television shows, Netflix's new show, The OA, starring Kelly Jackson. I'll have my thoughts on that show